Hello, Ace Youth. Here's this week's sermon recap. We all go through suffering. I don't think there's a life where there is no suffering. I think instead of avoiding suffering, it's important that we learn to choose the right kind of suffering. And we don't want to suffer because of our mistakes or choices. We don't want to suffer because of what is done to us. But sometimes we need to make a choice to suffer because we want to follow Christ. But know this, when we suffer, we're not alone. And God sent Jesus Christ to be with us in our suffering. And sometimes we may not understand why we have to go through suffering. But one thing that we could be sure is that through every suffering, Jesus is with us. And he's not with us where he doesn't understand what we're going through, but because Jesus came as fully human into our world, that he understands exactly what we're going through. And as we go through suffering, that we could really seek out God's grace. And through God's grace, that we could find strength to endure and persevere through it. And as we persevere through it, God will use your suffering to bring comfort to others that are around you. I know we are going through a difficult time, and it's difficult to make sense out of what we're going through. But even though it may not make sense, let's learn to seek God's grace during this time. And as we endure by the strength that he gives us, I am sure that God will use you to bring comfort to those people that are around us. We can't live life without suffering, but we can learn to choose to suffer to follow Christ. And I hope that's what we will do through this week. Thank you, God bless, and have a wonderful week.